I'm here at PAX Prime 2015, and I just saw Tharsis, which I think is one of the most interesting games I've seen so far at PAX. I'm here with Michael. How's it going, Michael?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
Yeah, so far so good. So Tharsis combines some of my favorite things. Got space, board games, a little bit of roguelike in there. So tell me about the premise and kind of all the elements coming together in Tharsis.
So I'll start with story. It's about a mission to Mars that has gone horribly wrong because we have a signal that we got to Earth of a doom impending. So we're sending astronauts there to figure something out. Unfortunately, they got hit by a micrometeorite storm, and so what they have to do is figure out how to get there at any cost to save humanity.
So a lot of Tharsis plays out through these dice rolls that you're making against problems and difficulties that you're experiencing on the space shuttle. Can you talk a little bit about those mechanics and also how they interact with your guys' sort of representation of the actual issues astronauts may encounter on their way to Mars?
The interesting thing is every event that happens on the ship is actually things that have happened to NASA. So what we wanted to do is have a way of fixing them by using dice. And the interesting thing about dice is you're basically getting a random roll, but we wanted to be able to use that randomness to solve these issues. So what we've done is we've made systems that will actually end up taking the randomness out of dice. It was difficult to do, but you'll see some of the elegance there.
And so cannibalism is represented in this game. It's something that you can encounter eventually. How is that managed? How is it represented? What effect does it have on your crew?
So the cannibalism aspect is interesting because a human is quite a bit of resources. And this being a resource management game, you are able to utilize that for food, and food actually ends up being dice. So realistically, if you had to go to Mars, you had to do whatever it took to get there, you would end up eating people.
Crazy. And it seemed like at the beginning of the game, I could pick my crew at a certain point. I have 4 crew members. They have different roles and specializations.
That's correct. So as you start off with 4 members, and as you play, you end up unlocking more characters with different abilities, and you can use those abilities to help you get to the end, which you will unlock one of 3 endings. So hopefully, as you unlock characters, you'll become sort of more powerful, and you'll be able to see these different endings.
What are some of the specific issues and problems and trouble I'm going to experience on a spacecraft on my way to Mars?
There's quite a few. One of my favorites is called a large fire. And whenever you see it, I mean, it is the most daunting thing you've seen. It's like, you know you're in space, and that's the last thing you want. So there's fires, there's water leaks, there's plant blights, holes in the ship. There's all kinds of stuff that you have to do.
Very interesting. Well, thanks, Michael. I think it's a great kind of approach of taking the popularity of board games, the surging popularity of board games over the past couple years, roguelikes, space travel. We got The Martian, the movie coming out soon.
Yeah, well, we felt like we were really hitting a zeitgeist with Mars and board games, and having digital board games, single player especially, I think is something that's going to really resonate with gamers.
Thanks for talking to us about it.
Absolutely, thank you.